The story follows a 35-year-old woman named Maddie who is struggling financially. Her mother has passed away and her father is out of the picture, leaving her to pay off the mortgage on her childhood home. To make ends meet, she works as an Uber driver at night and a bartender during the day. At the start of the movie, Maddie's car is being repossessed by a government employee because she missed a house payment. This employee is her ex-boyfriend, and she tries to convince him to let her keep the car by flirting with him and saying she still likes him. However, he sees a man walking out of her house, a man she had been with the night before, and in a fit of jealousy, he takes her car away. Later, at the bar where she works with her best friend and her friend's husband, Maddie tells them about her car being repossessed. She worries about how she will continue to earn money and pay her mortgage. Her friend shows her a job listing from a wealthy family. They're looking for a beautiful girl to date, their 18-year-old son, Percy, in exchange for a new car. The ad specifies a girl between 20 and 25, but despite being 35, Maddie decides to go for it out of desperation. Maddie meets the parents, who explain that their son Percy is shy and socially awkward. He spends most of his time in his room playing video games and has very few friends. He has no experience with dating, drinking, or partying. His parents want Maddie to date him and help him gain confidence before he goes to Princeton University, as they worry his lack of social experience will negatively impact his personal life. Although they were looking for a younger girl, Maddie convinces them she's the right person for the job. They agree and ask her to pretend to be his girlfriend to help him become more street smart. They also suggest she be intimate with him and make it clear that Percy must never find out about their arrangement. Maddie borrows her friend's husband's car and goes to the animal shelter where Percy volunteers. She wears a revealing dress to get his attention and pretends she wants to adopt a dog. Percy takes her to his office to fill out a form, but instead of completing it, Maddie flirts with him, making him nervous and confused. He tries to leave, claiming he has his bicycle, but Maddie stops him and puts his bike in her van, forcing him to get in with her. Percy thinks he's being kidnapped, and when Maddie drives toward her own house instead of his, he panics. He uses pepper spray on her face, causing her to cry out in pain. Maddie explains that she wasn't kidnapping him but wanted to go on a date, and she compliments him. Feeling guilty, Percy gets her some water to clean her face. He then admits he wants to go on a date with her too. Maddie takes him to a bar that night. He shows up in shorts, and people laugh at him. Since Percy doesn't drink, they both have juice. Maddie's ex-boyfriend, the one who repossessed her car, shows up. He flashes his wedding ring and says his life has been great since he left her. He warns Percy to stay away from her before leaving. Maddie explains to Percy that he was an alcoholic, which is why she left him. Afterward, they go to a deserted beach. Maddie tells Percy to take off his clothes and go swimming, but he's scared. She takes off her clothes and goes into the water herself, and he eventually follows her lead. Just as they are about to get intimate, 3 intoxicated teenagers around Percy's age show up and steal their clothes, wallets, phones, and keys. Maddie gets out of the water, naked, and confronts them. She fights them, and they get scared and give back their belongings. Percy is upset by Maddie's aggressive behavior, but she tells him she had to fight them or they would have gotten away with their stuff. She tries to get close to him again, but he pulls back. Frustrated, Maddie gets out of the water, gets dressed, and starts her car. Percy runs up to her, apologizes, and she gives him his clothes. She takes him back to her place. Maddie tries to seduce him again, dancing for him, but he remains hesitant. She asks him to dance too, hoping to speed up the process to get the car and pay off her loan. Percy, however, wants to get to know her better and isn't ready to be intimate. He does kiss her for the first time, and Maddie notices a blister on his back, so she puts lotion on it. Percy reveals that before meeting her, he stayed inside because he was bullied and was afraid to talk to girls. Maddie also opens up about her life, and they start to form a genuine connection. They continue dating, getting to know each other, and their friendship deepens. They play games, hang out, and have fun. Percy starts to open up to the world, and Maddie teaches him how to enjoy life and be more confident. They go to a fancy restaurant for dinner, and at Maddie's urging, Percy plays the piano for everyone. Everyone is impressed, and a girl from his school, who sees him, invites him to a bachelor party. Maddie feels a pang of jealousy. Maddie then tells Percy that she's leaving town soon, which makes him angry. He storms off to the party with Maddie following him. He starts drinking heavily. They arrive at the party, and Percy goes inside, leaving Maddie in the car. She goes in after him but is mocked by the teenagers, who call her Auntie. She finds Percy in a room with the girl who invited him. Maddie breaks down the door and finds Percy on the bed, feeling sick from drinking too much. She takes him to the bathroom to throw up, but his parents arrive and tell her to leave. Maddie takes Percy home. In the car, he tells her he's ready to be intimate and that he loves her. Maddie, thinking he's just drunk, turns him down, saying it's not the right time. The next day, Percy's parents are thrilled to see how confident he has become. However, Percy tells them he doesn't want to go to Princeton anymore because he wants to stay with his girlfriend, Maddie. This news upsets them, so they call Maddie and tell her the job is done and she can now have the car. Unfortunately, Percy, who is taking his father's car out for a driving lesson, has his phone connected to the car's Bluetooth and overhears the entire conversation. His heart breaks, and he realizes Maddie was hired to date him. He feels betrayed and angry. The next day, Percy invites Maddie to have lunch with his parents. His parents act as if they've never met Maddie before, and Percy pretends he doesn't know the truth. Percy gets a call from his friend at the animal shelter and goes outside. He and his friend take the car that was promised to Maddie into the woods and crash it into a tree, severely damaging it. Percy does this to get revenge on Maddie for her deception. When Percy returns, he tries to get intimate with Maddie, who agrees, ready to end their arrangement. But he stops, revealing that he knows everything about the deal. He's furious and doesn't want to see her anymore, accusing her of faking her feelings for him. Maddie tries to explain that she did it out of desperation, but he refuses to listen. She leaves with the damaged car. Percy, angry at his parents, tells them to let him live his own life. He retreats to his room, playing video games, and ignores all of Maddie's calls and messages. Maddie gets the car repaired and uses the money to pay off her mortgage. To celebrate, she throws a party for her friends. Her best friend tells her she's pregnant and needs a new place to live. Maddie, no longer wanting to live in town, sells her house to her friend at a low price and decides to move to California. Maddie goes to Percy's house to see him, feeling bad about what happened. He's not there, but his parents tell her where he is. She finds him, but he still refuses to speak to her. Maddie apologizes and tries to explain her side. He eventually forgives her. She tells him she's moving to California, and he's happy for her. On the day Percy is supposed to go to Princeton, he packs his bags and says goodbye to his parents. Maddie arrives to drive him to the university. They both get in the car and drive off together, and the movie ends.